Now, what are the options when it comes to gripping a golf club that's going to help you improve your putting? The biggest problem with grips, and I get asked daily, Andy, what about my grip? What about your grip? Is the grip the issue? Do you feel the grip's the issue? Do you like the way you're holding it? Does it deliver the club the way that you need it to? And the problem that we've got is that oftentimes the question's been asked because we don't know, and we don't know because there's so many conflicting ideas as to what type of grip's going to work best for you, when actually the grip's really only going to work best for you if it works best for you. You've got to test it and try it and test it out and understand why you're doing it. I'm going to give you now the utmost understanding of why a grip works the way that it does. Why you should be considering the claw over reverse overlap, or a left hand low, or a pencil grip, or whatever else we may find. Stick with me while we go through all the aspects of gripping a club, the pluses and the minuses, and why you will see major improvements when you apply a grip that's much more applicable to you. Andy Gorman-ThePASS, the putting and short game specialist, who's bringing putter grips into whatever century we happen to be in, up to speed so that you can understand why you should use a certain grip. That's what we're here to do today. Now, I'm going to hit a bunch of putts so that you can understand a little bit more about what the putting stroke's about. If you've not seen any of my videos before, you'll see that we've got a putt here of around 10 feet. I'm just going to be rolling some putts and getting a nice rhythm and tempo into the stroke, getting that golf ball on its way to the target. Now, left hand low, reverse grip. Okay, pretty good. Now, on some of the demos I've done previously, just before this video got started, you'll see that, left hand low was one of those grips that just sent the golf ball a little bit out to the right hand side. Now, that's not happening anymore. And that's because, well, I kind of know where I'm hitting my putts. And, when I do a peculiar grip, right, anything that I don't do normally is peculiar. I generally don't leave putts from 10 feet short either. So, that's kind of, I think we're calling this one pencil grip. The problem I've got here is my huge belly, which hasn't been working out in the gym recently, is in the way as the position of the hand under the grip. My elbow is much closer to my tummy. This may not be suitable for some of you. This peculiar position of the arm, I know I'm making it look really weird here, but this peculiar position of the arm really does bring the elbow in much closer to the tummy. It may be just a grip for the athlete. However, and I'll come to it, in a bit more detail, that arm isn't necessarily in plane with the motion of the shaft. So I'm just going to throw that one out there. And then we go to claw. Claw grip, there we are. Movement of the club back, made very, very popular now by our world number one, Mr. Scheffler. Of course, he wasn't the first person to do it. This grip's been around for, I want to say, 35, nearly 40 years. Skip Kendall had a little bit of a play around with this grip back in the day. And then we go to prayer grip, where, both palms are together. Ideally we'd go with a slightly wider grip, but both palms together, both thumbs running in the same location on the grip. Kind of wrap the fingers around the grip in that manner there. And shoulders are nice and level. And then the idea is you just move the putter from side to side, rocking the shoulders. Okay, so now if you're interested in working with me on a one-to-one basis, and this is a great time for you to be able to do it. We're heading into the winter, and as an opportunity may just throw itself available to you, you've got a little bit more time. But if you want me to help you out with your putting during the winter period, this would be a great opportunity for you to be able to do that. Contact me on the link in the description below. We will have that information available for you. So if you'd like to click on the link below, then you can send me a couple of videos. I'll give you a few pointers as to what you need to be working on in your putting stroke, things where I feel like you may be losing a little bit of the benefits and gaining some in other areas, so we'd want to keep them. The spaces are limited. I can only get to so many of you at a time, so don't delay. I'd love to see the videos. Drop me a link and I'll help you moving forward. Now then, back to the grip. And the grip really is about your connection with the golf club, how you hold the golf club. So how you hold the golf club and why is really important. Now, I'm a huge fan of the conventional grip. Reason, well, if you've seen my videos before, you'll know my reasons. The left hand's higher than the right hand on the club when it's in this position. When we do that, with the right arm, trail arm, hanging, it can just move from side to side. There's no tension there, there's no pressure, nothing. And I'm going to do this one-handed to start with. It's the tiger drill, right? Moving the putter back and forward from side to side and getting a nice pace, a nice start line. We got balls going into the hole for fun. If the face is square, the path is straight, the ball's on its way, we've got good speed, you've got a fighting chance of picking the ball at the bottom of the hole. Didn't happen on that one. However, what we're working towards here is the movement of the putter from side to side at an optimum speed. It's going to be very difficult to do that if that hand goes to the top of the grip. The reason for that is now because the grip kind of, the putter now has just become really heavy for me. And the ball's come up a little bit short because the arm is now in a more tense, less relaxed position. So as I'm moving from side to side, I don't feel like I've got the same amount of controlling force. I need force when I rotate the golf ball towards the hole. Arm hanging down, move from side to side, controlling force, it's more free swinging stroke, the ball is on its way. So if we then go to the pencil grip, now the toe of the club has gone down because this really doesn't want to be in this plane angle at all. The tension in my forearm is ridiculous and the control I've got is just, it's just off the charts. Look, if it's a pencil grip, it's designed for holding a pencil that's going to scribe lead onto a page, not swing a 500-gram putter from side to side with any measure of control. The claw, could it? Maybe just a little bit, you know, kind of, it doesn't feel like I've got huge control over it, but I think I could probably get used to that. But I'll be honest with you, no, I'm still feeling some tension in here. But the reason why the movement will be okay is because the shaft plane and the forearm plane are reasonably similar. The prayer grip, again, prayer grip, kind of like, you know, sort of in this manner here. It's really only missing the other side of the grip, right? And yes, that will work in that sense. The problem I've got with the prayer grip, so we'll start and go in reverse order now. Right, the prayer grip requires that the left shoulder and the right shoulder are similar height, and that we are rocking the shoulders. Now, I don't know if you can see that my head is really struggling to stay nice and still. My lower body is stationary, my chest is moving from side to side. There is no, or it appears to be, but actually it's the shoulders going up and down, and my chest isn't moving from side to side. I'm kind of pivoting around my microphone. So that's not conducive to moving the putter from side to side in a manner that's going to work really well. And to get the upswing to strike the golf ball, then I'm going to have to lift my left shoulder. If I'm not turning it and lifting it at the same time, it's not going to be able to retain a steady head position. So this is a tricky one, right? Because there's some merit here, but until that left shoulder goes up, and then why would you grip it in this manner? Because now you're going more towards a conventional position, you can't really go back and then lift that left shoulder to send the golf ball on its way in a manner that's level with the shoulders to start, that's kind of inciting an up and down movement. By rotation and side to side movement, you do optimize the fundamental values of the stroke. Left below right, again, you can now see left below right, left hand's lower than the right on the club, left shoulder's lower than the right. I'm likely to be hitting down on it. The problem I've got also is that as I set up to the golf ball, is that the position of my hands on the club, invariably my shoulders are aiming way off to the right hand side. So as you can see now, I'm struggling with my alignment, and that could cause me to do a little bit of in to out. I know I've exaggerated it for purposes of the camera. So there are reasons why some of these methods work and don't work, and how they may be contributing towards an assist that you're struggling with, all right? i.e., my wrists are breaking down, Andy. I'll go left below right because then my left hand is in a position where it won't break down. You're absolutely right, and you may well end up with some golf balls going in the hole. For the honeymoon period, that tends to be most changes that we have. We're not making constant changes. We don't want to, but honeymoon periods, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 rounds of golf, who cares, who knows, 3 holes even, right? This may be what it is, but ultimately, it may be better than what you were doing before, if that's what you were doing before, but, if it doesn't result in lots of hole outs and consistent hole outs and good speed control, then the grip isn't the issue, and changing it to what you've just done isn't improving your game, and it isn't doing things naturally for you. So again, we go to the pencil grip. The position of the forearm is pointing almost straight down between my feet. I'm now gripping the golf club in this manner. The control isn't in my trail side. As a right-handed golfer, that's really important. That doesn't mean my left side doesn't know what it's supposed to do or can't, but it's ultimately, now I feel a lot of tension in my left shoulder in this position, and as I mentioned before, I've just got stuck in the belly again, and that hasn't allowed the club face to square up in that particular putt. I'm now making a peculiar grip into a peculiar motion. I'm struggling to get my, wobbling around as well there, I've managed to get the face square, but I'm struggling to get my right elbow to go past my enormous tummy. Would not be a recommendation. So when we start to look at the variables, the options, I don't want the shoulders to be level. Now, this is my opinion. My expert opinion, at the end of the day, I am the putting and short game specialist. I am helping you to improve your putting with the minimal amount of practice time that you've got available. So essentially what I want you to do is to practice and practice and practice for just a few minutes a day. Not hours because you haven't got the time, not weekends because you should be playing golf, but just a little bit of practice. Just a few minutes each day will help you to keep the motion of your putting stroke in the ideal vein that we're looking for. And so left below right will help us to hit down. It's great for wedge shots, by the way, but not so good for the putting in the long term. It may be in the short term, all right? But when we start to get into these peculiar positions now, pencil, claw, the elbows come out, the forearm is in plane with the shaft. The motion is likely to be more consistent. I can lift the left shoulder freely, my right arm is not going to foul with my body. And this may well work, especially if you've got a little bit of the twitches going on. The potential to do that. By moving the hand into that position, it will naturally want to plane in that position and is less inclined to kind of twitch that way. Remember, these twitches only come about because this arm is in the way. If the left hand is in the way, if the left hand doesn't keep moving through the stroke, the trail hand has to take the swinging weight of the club, the swinging speed of the club head, past the hands. And it will do it in that manner, which looks really dramatic at this angle, as against there. Right? But essentially, if the handle keeps moving through the target, there is no issue here. But if we're in plane, there will also be no influence in that manner either. So the crucial part of the stroke is being able to keep this part of the club moving towards the target. If we can do that, we can make a stroke that's going to send the golf ball on its way. So how you hold the golf club then, whether you want to go this way because you feel it's a bit twitchy, then this will help to smooth things out. Left shoulder a little higher. It's higher on the club than the right hand is. Left hand, right hand. Keep the arms reasonably similar length and you'll make better strokes, full stop. So I'm a fan, albeit in the second place position to the conventional gripping position on the club. I can't do much practice this way. It just kind of doesn't work freely. What we're looking to do here is to make sure that we're able to move the handle of the club, which controls the shaft and the club head, to send the golf ball on its way towards the target and give ourselves a fighting chance of holding the putt. And if we can do that with both hands on the club, we'll position the hands in a more conventional manner, whether we wrap the fingers in that manner, down the grip, a couple of pointy fingers, it doesn't overly matter, but just keep that handle moving because the left shoulder's moving the handle, left shoulder's going up, and you will hold more putts without having to spend hours and hours and hours practicing with time you haven't got or time that you could better spend playing golf. I'm hugely thankful for you to watch the end of this video because it is a slightly longer one, but it's a really important subject. It's a subject that I try and swerve as much as I possibly can, not because I don't want to hit it front on, but because there's a lot of explanation as to why I don't like that, I don't want you doing that, this is where I want you to go, this is why you should consider this. So it's one of those videos that we do in exactly the same way as we do in the studio. I do thank you for watching. I do hope that you've liked it. And if you do, please click on the like, subscribe. Please feel free to comment. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.